listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. My name is Ken Lawler. I'm the host of the show, and you are listening to us on KRMS Radio on Saturdays from 10 to 11, or you're watching this in the LOZ app Podcast Network. We have two ways for you to enjoy it. And today I have a special guest, Michelle Leesmann, Senior Loan Officer and founder of Move with the Military. Michelle, how are you?
I'm amazing. Every time I get to talk with you, Ken, is just an amazing day.
Well, thank you. I thought it'd be a good time to kind of catch up with what's going on with you at the lake and with different projects that you have that you're working on, and kind of maybe revisit the summer and some of the things you did. And this year you were able to really help the military family at Lake of the Ozarks. And one of the ways that you did that was you were a title sponsor for the Shootout Poker Run this year, weren't you?
I was, and it was such a neat experience. It was actually the first time I attended that event. And being the title sponsor, Heroes Care serves directly our military members and veterans with a bunch of different services. And watching everybody come together from the lake, all the families, the veterans, it was a great time.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and I don't think a lot of people understand it, but when we do the shootout events, I mean, we have sponsors. They come in, they help put on the event itself, and then a lot of the funds that they raise goes straight to helping those charitable organizations in the shootout. And you actually got some, but it's volunteers that really it depends on. So
Right.
a lot of those volunteers came up from Fort Leonard Wood, didn't they?
They did. A lot of the volunteers, but also we host active duty families or military members. And, the community at the lake is so unique, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch everyone come together. And so people will sign up and they will host a military service member that gets to spend the day on these really cool boats doing this poker run throughout the afternoon, and just to watch just the joy and get to know them. I mean, you make connections. So we had several that came up from Fort Leonard Wood. We had some from Scott Air Force Base, actually. So a little bit served several of our local military bases through that run.
Yeah, and when we talk about Move with the Military, so Michelle, you're the founder of Move with the Military, which is it's a mobile app, but it's also just an entity that helps different military families when they get PCS, which is a term that maybe not a lot of people understand, but it's basically they're told you're going to move bases, you're going to a new base because we need you over here. But if you think about it in terms of when we move, it's a stressful time. There's a lot going on. You got the kids in school to think about. You got the dogs. You got the movers. You have a new place to live. There's a lot going on. But you've come up with the app, Move with the Military, that allows them to find the next base they're going to be moved to, and then get all those different numbers and information for how they can connect in that new market, right?
Correct. Well, through my mortgage business, I had the opportunity to start working with active duty military members and realizing the constraints and the just the stress that they have from moving from one community to the next. And I'm a huge advocate for community. It's what I, serve through my mortgage business, helping educate people on their different loan options, whether they're a first-time home buyer, they're buying their second or third property at the Lake of the Ozarks. There's so many different options out there. And I saw a gap in having a platform that serves our active duty service members, their families to one, I mean, it's a platform that can educate them about the VA loan and their options. Not everybody looks at buying a home. And it's not just about where they're going to live. It's also like, what are those amenities around there? So similar to actually the LOZ app, whenever you go in there and you visit the lake, you can easily go in and find those hot spots. And through the Move with the Military app, they're able to see military friendly businesses. They can find pet care, salons, child care, just everything to live there around that community. So it's been quite a blessing. And
and you've expanded this thing across the nation, right? I mean, there's I don't know how many bases you have in there now, but it's growing every day. but you're really bringing a valuable tool to active military when they're trying to figure out how they're going to navigate, move to a new base. And there's a lot there, and you're truly doing your part to try to make sure that it's less stress in their life.
I'm trying. And it's neat. Every conversation I have with someone that has that same vision and mission to serve and support our service members, it just is more value that we can bring into the app because we're not trying to recreate the wheel. We are just trying to be that one platform. We currently have about 25 bases in the app, and a little fact: there's over 300 military bases when you talk about our Coast Guard stations and everything across the United States. So it's growing. We've got about 25. Fort Leonard Wood is highlighted in the app. The Lake of the Ozarks is highlighted in the app. That, one of the things that when they PCS, we want them to know where they can take their families, where they can go and relax and kick back and enjoy. And so, of course, the lake had to be one of the spots that we put in the app.
Right.
Yeah. So,
And you have all that going on in your life, but you're also a senior loan officer for First State Bank there at Lake of the Ozarks. You are handling mortgages for people at the lake. Talk a little about First State Bank and what that they do at the lake for people.
So First State Bank has had a presence at the lake. I'm not sure how many people know that for quite some time. We're right there off Osage Beach Parkway. We are a depository community bank based out of St. Charles, Missouri, which is only about, 2 hours and 15 minutes from the lake. And so we bring a lot of the community reinvestment. We're very fluid in condos. I bought my first condo at the lake when I was 18, and I just love being able to watch people. I had a closing a couple months ago, and it was a couple that owned a condo for 10 years. They were buying up and getting a single family house, and just even watching that and continued being part of people's love for the lake. I love the lake, helping them finance their properties. I have a lot of people in my local community that reach out. They know that I'm kind of the lake guru. And so the support that I have with First State Bank has been phenomenal. Them having that presence there, and they're sponsoring constantly different real estate aspects.
And they are a sponsor in the LOZ app. They are in there. So if you need to get a hold of Michelle, you can just go into the lender section of the LOZ app, and you'll find her in there. You can call her directly. I think it's helpful when you are dealing with a lender at the lake who really understands the lake and has bought and sold properties there. And you're not just somebody that helps people buy and sell properties. You're an owner. You've owned several properties at the lake, and you are immersed into that community, right? I mean, we consider you a part-timer for sure.
I would love to be a permanent resident. However, 50-50 will gets us pretty close, right? But I've owned 2 condos. I've owned 2 single family residences. Had the experience with the dock, the expansion of a dock, and so dealing with Ameren, had the septic. The lake is such a unique area across the board, but to own real estate, if you don't know, it's truly one of those areas that you have to have that experience and kind of be ahead of the game and forward thinking of possible issues that could come up to try and avoid them to keep the transaction together for sure.
Yeah, and we talk about it all the time. If you pick somebody who is not familiar with the lake market to try to get your real estate deal done, there's so many things, docks, seawalls, all the things that you have to think about that no one understands unless you've done business at the lake. So it's nice that you have that experience for people. Certainly if you're an active military or veteran, you are really cued in on those programs as well, right?
Oh, of course. Absolutely. They're my specialty, really, I would say. I teach a military homeownership expert course, and it's not just about the VA loan. It's also understanding how to communicate in their world of what they've gone through, what their status is, because that means a lot to them. I was ringing the bell with Salvation Army last night, and every veteran that I come across, I thank them for their service. And this gentleman was very proud and, spoke about what he was when he listed and what he was when he, left the service. And it's just a unique world, for sure. And they're very tight knit. And I love watching them enjoy themselves at the lake. We've got a military owned bar. I mean, there's a lot of military support at the Lake of the Ozarks, that's for sure. But, we've got snafu that's very targeted within the military realm down there on the dam. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting conglomerate of veterans when we talk about the lake and what's going on down there. And I'm really glad that you're focusing on that and you're helping those guys and helping veterans all across the United States and helping active military all across the United States try to manage that very stressful time. And when you're moving from base to base, you're able to help people at the lake with loans. You're doing it all, Michelle. We love it. That's why we wanted to kind of feature you here.
Try to keep up with you, Ken.
We wanted to feature you here on the show. Guys, I would just tell you, if you want to get a hold of Michelle, you go into the LOZ app, go under lenders, you'll find her in there. She's got her own page. If you are a veteran and you're looking for help, she specializes in that. And also, if you're just a fan of military service, get to know Michelle because she can help you maybe get involved with the Move of the Military organization that she's running. So happy to have you on the show today. Glad you could make it. I hope you have a happy holiday, and I know you will. You love the Christmas season. We were just talking about that off the air. All right, everybody. That's this issue of LOZ Podcast Network with Michelle Leesmann. We will be right back after these words.
All right. Bye-bye.